Okay, you got your design, you got your resources, you got your buddies, and you think the first step is to buy the lumber. Wrong. The first step is spending $400 creating this imaginary square in your backyard. That's the layout. First, you got to go and buy these stakes. But apparently, you can't just hammer a stake into the ground like some kind of pioneer. The stake has to be vertical. Because if the stake leans just 3 degrees one way, your measurement changes and you're on a hill and you don't realize that. So if it's not vertical, it changes the actual direction of the string or the vector of the string, and it causes that other post to be misses the alignment. So your hole in the ground could be exactly where it needs to be, but because you're standing on a hill and your post is at an angle, you don't realize that at the time. It keeps messing everything up. So then once you actually figure out, after 10 hours of trying to make this square and not realizing that string and layout stakes are so sensitive to pretty much everything, just name it, they're sensitive to, and they move. I mean, the humidity could be up, they would move. They have to be absolutely vertical. So you need batter boards, you need mason lines, you need laser level, you need a tripod for the laser level, you need a plumb bob, you need marking paint, you need metal stakes, you need wood stakes, and eventually you're standing there holding $600 worth of precision instruments just to answer one question: where does this deck go? Well, it's easy. You measure off the house, except the house isn't actually square. Beautiful. So the one object I assumed was already finished and has entered the project and announced, it just said, don't actually use me as a reference point. I was built in the 1960s. I've settled, I've changed. The brick is bowed out a little bit. The wall isn't perfectly straight. One side kicks out. The stairs, they're doing their own thing. So I measure 12 feet from the house over here, 12 feet from the house over there, connect the points, and somehow I've designed a deck shaped like Rhode Island. Okay, fine. We'll square it mathematically, because apparently I'm not a homeowner anymore. I'm Pythagoras with the circular saw. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. 3, 4, 5. Every deck builder, every carpenter on YouTube advocates for it. You measure the diagonals. If both the diagonals are equal, congratulations, it's square. Except mine aren't equal. One is like 237 inches. The other is 239 and 3/16. So I move one corner. Now they're closer. Except that moving that corner moved the string, and the string determines the post. So now one post moves. And because one post moved, the spacing between the two posts is wrong. So now you got to move 2 posts, which screws up post 3. Now you got to move 3 posts. Now post 4 looks like it was installed by Stevie Wonder in an earthquake. So then you go back to post 1 and you move it. You remeasure. And post 2 is wrong again. And you remeasure the diagonal. Now the other diagonal is wrong. And at this point, the posts aren't structural. They're playing musical chairs. Everybody rotate clockwise. Brandon's got the tape measure again. Oh, and don't forget, every time you measure to a stake, you'd better measure from the same point on the stake, because that little bastard is leaning. Measure from the top, 146 inches. Measure from the bottom, 145 and 5/8. Congratulations, your stake has created its own geometry. So everything I've read said you could be up to 1/8 of an inch off. That's not a lot of margin of error. So you check the string with the laser. You check the laser against the house. You check the house against reality. And reality has officially declined to participate. So 12 hours later, I haven't dug a hole. I haven't cut a board. I haven't driven a structural screw. I have successfully installed the string. And even the string is under investigation. But eventually, after about 18 hours and learning all these things as you go, the lines are square, the posts are marked, I stand back and admire this magnificent invisible deck, and that's when I realize the stairs are in the way. Welcome to deck building. Part 1, layout. When you begin the day thinking that you're a carpenter and end it at 11:30 at night Googling, can a quadrilateral be emotionally abusive?